Girl, you don't want to say get over yourself, but you can make it through life. Life's. It's going to do it whether you're a part of it or not. 13 is not too young to have that sex talk. Definitely not too young. Hey, it's Monica May with Let's Spill the Tea. We're back in the West Oaks Mall at the GLG Hub, Great Life Group, and I promise you this is the best podcast studio in town to do anything that you can think of. So we came back to have our conversation, but before we get to some of the letters that you all have been sending in, the questions, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who came out to Ahead of the Curve. Wow, it was a conversation fit for a teenage girl, a high school senior, right before she's getting ready to go off to college. All of the things your mom never told you. And wow, was it some discussion? We started out with the fact that, we live in the state of Florida. So the opportunity for an abortion kind of hinders on 6 weeks. And at that point, you don't even know if you're pregnant. So what do? You have to take precaution into your own hand. And then we also talked about the STIs and HIV actually being the most predatory of the diseases that a young girl can just, wow, you don't know. So what we were trying to do was empower our young ladies to take their bodies into their own control. We left off with a bag, a Let's Spill the Tea bag, and I wish I had one to show you, but a Let's Spill the Tea bag was packed with all these kinds of goodies. We talked about nutrition too. The freshman 15 is now the freshman 20 or 30. Ebony Nutrition gave us all the information on that. Dr. Andrea Dunn came and had our sex talk with the girls. We also had someone from the National Pan-Atlantic Council come in and talk about pledging. She talked about the history of all of the sororities. Following that, though, we had someone come in and do a mental health piece on, all right, so you did everything that you were asked and you didn't get chosen. What is the mental health ramification? What's the hiccup that comes with that? So Tammy, oh my gosh, Tammy Holt did a wonderful job with that. We had two licensed safety people come in, two black women come in and do some displays of aggression towards each other, how to protect yourself walking on campus. And then there was the discussion on finances. But before we got to finances, Kirsten came in. Kirsten is not much older than they are, but she is the only black forensic expert here in Orange and Orlando. And she said she needs mental health assistance, okay? And she does it on a regular. See, we want to make counseling for our young people more, I don't know, the thing to do, the avant-garde thing to do, the thing that you would go to in times of, I don't feel like getting out of bed, or I'm sad, but it's lasting a little bit longer. What am I supposed to do? Well, you need to talk with someone. That's the first thing. And so Tammy Holt really made that clear for the girls. And then hearing it from Kirsten and talking about the fact that, I show up to a crime scene and there's somebody that I went to high school with. Oh my God, you're taking your job home with you. So what I always tell young girls is that we're preparing you for the next steps in your life. Beyond college, you can make it through college. You can make it through life. Life's. It's going to do it whether you're a part of it or not. I had this conversation with my intern the other day, and I said, you've got to make decisions. But once you make that decision, you've got to do step by step. In their bags, all of the girls got journals and they got pens to write with. And I'm hoping that they use them and kind of write out some of the things that they're feeling and some of the questions that they might have. And they always have access to me. And one more thank you goes to the Department of Health. The Department of Health made these phenomenal self-care boxes for these girls. And inside each box was a letter just for them about all of the things that were in that box, of course, but just the prayer that they had for them and their success moving on to college. Just a great day for everyone, great evening. We had some young steppers come in from New Image Youth Center to kind of break up everything. And then we played the string game, Getting to Know You. I'll share that with you in just a moment. But let me get to this letter. The topic is sex talk. And it says, Dear Monica, Is my daughter too young for the sex talk? She's 13 years old, and with this new age of social media and everything being online, I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't already have some idea. But I want to tell her the dangers of predators, pornographic material, and everything that comes with sex and everything that she'll entail before she gets peer pressured into it. She's growing into a fine young woman, but I'm afraid of the world tainting her. Oh my God. Cecily, thank you so much for sharing that. 13 is not too young to have that sex talk. Definitely not too young. Many girls, in fact, Dr. Dunn said the youngest person I think that she said she treated was 12. So somewhere along the line, either that girl was traumatically forced into a sex act, or even if she went into it willfully, she's still too young. But it happened. And with your daughter being 13 years old, why not tell her a little bit beyond the birds and the bees? Tell her that with sex comes an emotion. And every time you release or you have an orgasmic moment, all of these kinds of feelings of love and all of this other stuff just overcomes you. But that doesn't mean that you're in love with that person that you just had this intimate experience with. So you would have to explain that to her as well. You would have to explain to her that there's going to be emotions that come after that that she may not be ready for. And that would be, what if you see him walking with someone else? Oh my God, we just, in her mind, made love. Girl, you don't want to say get over yourself, but I'm going to let you know that at 13, no one's ready to commit. And that's the big key. What are you going to do when she sees him out and about with someone else? Or what if he ignores her the next day? What if she picks up an STD, or STI, as it sometimes is called, sexually transmitted? And what if she doesn't know what to do? Would she be able to come to you? So, yes, start that conversation with her at 13 so that she feels open enough at the moments of the emotion is just too raw for her mind, don't understand what I'm feeling. She'll feel open enough and protected enough to come right back to you. Suppose she does think that she might be pregnant. Hmm, that's a big thing. She'll be open enough and feel safe enough to come to you to say, Ma, this is what's going on. The only thing that I have issue with is that a lot of parents at the age of 13 start putting their daughters on birth control right away. I don't have a problem with the birth control. I just have a problem with being on it for too long and what it can do to you. So have that conversation with a gynecologist. And it wouldn't be too early for her to see a gynecologist to make sure that she is okay, period. All right. As soon as a young girl begins to have her period, I think that is when the conversation about sex should begin. Well, that's my conversation on that sex talk. Anything you want to know, just shoot me a line at info@letsspillthetea.org. Thank you.